Anyway, Riri, what'd you think of it?
I thought it was Rihanna's best performance.
Oh, come on.
I thought it was one of her.
This guy's a...
Well, let me give it some context. I was nervous for Rihanna going into this.
Because you knew?
I mean, Rihanna's never been like a phenomenal live performer. We know this. Like this isn't news to anybody. Like, you know what I mean? She's just Rihanna. Like, she's the coolest person in the room. Like, you're just happy to be looking at Rihanna. You know what I mean? But we've never, like, she performs like a rapper to me. You know what I mean? That's why I said, to me, this was her best performance, because they produced it very well. Like, they knew what her strengths are, and they knew what her weaknesses were. And pregnancy or not, I think that they just put together a great production. Like, all the dances, the set looked great. She looked great. You know what I mean? They kept the vocals. I'm assuming she was lip syncing. I don't know. You know what I mean? But it was to me, this was one of her best live shows. To me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a hot take, my boy. That's a hot take.
One of her best shows. Rihanna. I'm not comparing it to nobody.
Have you seen her live show before?
Yes.
Oh, you've gone in person?
No, I've never. Have I gone to a Rihanna show in person? I don't think so.
What, they did like an HBO special or something like that?
No, I did. No, I did see Rihanna in person. I saw Rihanna in person one time. I don't remember when. I feel like it was in Philly years ago, though. I don't remember.
Never like a VMA or something like that?
Bro, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all, man,
no, I mean, like,
y'all need to Google. Y'all need to Google Rihanna at the 2016 VMAs.
Why?
That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. Google her at the 2016 VMAs and watch that performance. I remember her getting killed for that performance. You understand what I'm saying? I remember people being overly critical of Rihanna and her live performances, because it got to a point where you didn't have nothing else to talk about her about. You know what I mean? It was like, she's flawless in every other way. Everybody loves Rihanna. So the only thing people would critique her about was her shows. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
So you basically went into this going, I'm not expecting Beyonce. I'm not expecting Michael Jackson. And then you had low expectations, and then you saw that the way that they crafted the performance, and you're like, oh, this was really cool what they did. I didn't have low expectations. I just, that was a dope show too, though. I remember this one. But the 2016 VMAs was a dope performance. But yeah, I didn't have no expectations, yo. I just didn't. What do you say about the reaction to it?
I think people were being overly critical just because that's the era that we live in. You know what I'm saying? I think people were being overly critical just because that's the era that we live in. People they look at Rihanna. She's a billionaire now. Like, yo, do you understand we live to tear successful people down?
Yeah, we do.
Like, nobody was going to walk away from this performance. Rihanna could have sang like Adele and danced like Beyonce, and nobody was going to walk away from this performance and be like, man, she killed that. That's not what we do.
Yeah.
That's why when people like Rihanna decide to stay away from music forever and just make their money off of, selling makeup, I'm not mad at them.
I thought she always lip synced.
Well, that's why some people lip sync. You know what I mean? But listen, to me, she performed like that performance right there at the Super Bowl halftime show. It reminded me of a Jay-Z performance. Because there was a time when people, and Jay-Z will probably admit this himself, like, he was not a great performer compared to the Busta Rhymeses of the world and the DMXs, you know what I mean? But he found a way to take his cool, curate it,
and then translate
it on stage in a way that was dope. And to me, that's what she did. To me.
Yeah. That is an interesting point about Jay-Z. Instead of trying to, like, compete with the DMXs or the Busta Rhymes in terms of, like, energy or charisma on stage, he found a way to do it by being subtle. I remember seeing him live and feeling that way.
That's what Rihanna did to me.
Yeah.
Rihanna was the coolest person in the room, just doing enough. She ain't got to, just doing enough. Let the dancers do all the real work. Hit a little butterfly here and there, you know what I mean? Like, it was cool to me.
Yeah. Do you think her being pregnant actually was to her advantage? In that people can go, yeah, she wasn't being so dynamic up there because she's pregnant.
No, not if you've been watching Rihanna all of these years.
I'm saying for the people who haven't.
Well, they're lying to themselves. I mean, yeah, they can use that, but they're lying to themselves.
Okay.
Like, that's like, she would have did that same performance if she wasn't pregnant.
That's what I'm saying. So it was to her advantage that she was.
The pregnancy, I guess, yeah, I can see why people say that. But to me, with or without the pregnancy, that was one of Rihanna's best live performances that I've seen. Personally, that was one of my personal favorites. I loved it though. I mean, I love watching everybody jump out the window.
Why do we tear people down? Why do we build people
jealousy,
up and tear them down,
and enviousness, and don't want to admit it?
And then how do people avoid that from happening? How do you stop that? You just can't. You have to accept it as part of the game.
You can't. There's nobody that everybody loves universally.
Yeah.
And even when the more people love you, the more people are going to hate you. Because we live in this world where everybody wants to be a contrarian. Think about it. Everybody got a podcast. Everybody got a YouTube page.
Yeah.
Everybody got a blog. So what do you have to have when you have those things? A fucking opinion.
Yeah.
So if everybody got the opinion of, Rihanna did her thing, let me just take the opposite stance just because.
There's some attention there.
Like,
Yeah.
That's the world we live in.
We live in the age of opinions for sure. Never have there been this much access to different opinions in the history of the world.
And not just opinions that people can be rewarded for. And I'm putting rewarded in air quotes because rewarded to them is getting reposted on Shade Room.
Now,
you know what I mean?
Could someone say that you're doing this as well by having the opposite opinion of everybody else on the Rihanna performance?
No, because I feel like my opinion is rooted in what I've seen and what I've seen throughout the years.
And your thing, theirs is rooted in attention. It's not really what they feel, but what they know that they can say to get attention.
Because if I was seeking attention, I would have said from the beginning, I'm nervous about Rihanna's performance. When they announced it, I'd have been like, oh, man, I don't know, yo. And I'd have been pointing out all of the different times we've seen Rihanna not be the best on stage. You know what I mean? But I don't want her to not succeed.
Did you find that happen with you? Like on your way up, everybody really excited for you. And then once you guys get to the top, did you feel like there was more hate?
No. I think it's always been 50-50. But I think that what we tend to do is pay attention only to what we want to hear. You know what I mean?
What satisfies perception of self.
Absolutely. And
that's dangerous because if you have negative perception of self, then you're going to listen to all the negative stuff. If you have positive perception of self, maybe you'll only listen to the positive. You have to have like a very balanced perspective.
You don't listen to any of it. And if you do listen to it, I always remember what my dad said. You're never as good as they say you are, and you're never as bad as they say you are. My guy, Cadillac Jack, salute to Cadillac Jack, another great mentor of mine in this radio game. Rule of 10. 3 people going to like it, 3 people not going to like it, 4 people don't even give a fuck. 4 people just sitting around waiting to see what everybody else thinks.
There's that great quote, you wouldn't care so much what people think of you if you realize how little they did.
We be in our own heads and our own bubbles. That's why social media is so dangerous, yo. Social media will have you thinking you got an audience. Because it's 10 people that tweet you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or it's 5 people that leave a comment on one of your videos or something. You really think all of a sudden you got this huge audience and everybody gives a fuck about what you got to say. That shit, I've seen that shit drive a lot of people mad.
Really?
That's what we need to start talking about. I haven't come up with the term for it or what it is, but it's a disease that is driving people mad. That shit you talking about with the insects taking over people's bodies?
That's what attention is.
That's what this new era is of all of this shit.
Yeah.
Whether it's the YouTube podcast, or being a social media influencer, that shit gets to you. Your opinions start being derived from what people are saying online. Yeah. Yo, nothing pisses me off more because I'm the type of person, I'm aware of everything, even though I might acknowledge nothing. Right? So I pay attention. There's nothing worse than talking to a person and they're repeating a bunch of things they saw on social media. And you know they got it from social media.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is ask them, well, why you think like that?
Yeah.
They have no reason.
Yeah.
They have no reason behind why they think like that because all you did was see somebody say it on social media. Now you're running with it. But why do you feel that way? They don't even know. They just ran with it because it sounds good. That shit is annoying.
They got the playbook on that idea. They got the playbook on that theory, and they just ran with all the talking points. You see that in politics a lot. I guess we expect it in politics, but we don't expect it in just like random culture. And to see people just hop on it, wow, that's tricky.
Yeah. So you hated. What is that? I'm taking all that to say you hated Rihanna's performance, is what you're saying.
No, I didn't watch it, and then when I saw it, I was like, okay, it's fine. I wasn't like blown away by it. But I think that there was a lot more hate than was necessary. I wonder what they were expecting. I guess I had maybe a similar expectation from you. Like I thought the cool thing about Rihanna was her vibe, and I thought that her energy, and that's what people are so drawn to, not necessarily her like dancing prowess. So, pardon? They dismissed. Oh, okay, got.
Let me tell you something about Rihanna.
Yeah.
Some people just are stars, bro.
Yeah, like
some people are just natural born superstars. Some people just got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Rihanna is the type. Somebody was telling this story the other day. I forgot who it was, but they were saying how they were in the lobby of Def Jam years ago when Rihanna had. I don't even know if Pond the Replay was out yet, but they was like when she walked through the lobby, everybody was turning like, "Yo, who is that? Who is that? Who's that?" Some people just got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I hate when people say things like, "Oh, you're not ugly. You know, you just broke." No.
You ugly.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Be both.
Because Rihanna, this person right here was this person always.
Right.
She's always been this version of herself.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just that she's constantly grown, constantly evolved. She's the coolest person in the room. She got an energy. She got a vibe. You can't fake that shit, man.